Welcome 139th Airlift Wing to our annual awards ceremony. As you can tell, we're not in a hangar, we're not all formed up, and it's going to look a little different this year, just like the rest of 2020. I hope that you enjoy our new format, and we're going to try it out here as we go through all the men and women that have distinguished themselves this year in a very trying year. But it's the right thing to do. Doing an awards ceremony is something that's a tradition here at the 139th Airlift Wing, and we certainly don't want to pass up the opportunity to recognize our high performers this year. To start us off right, and because of our new format, I think it's probably the right thing to do to break over to our chaplain and ask for a good prayer and an invocation to get us started off. So Chaplain Clary, over to you.
Let us pray. Most gracious God, as we gather today, we ask your blessing upon the airmen and civilians we honor with these awards. Through their achievements, they have brought great credit upon themselves, this wing, and the Air Force. We thank you for the opportunities you have given to each of these individuals and for the willingness and response which they have made to better our nation and the world around us through their sacrifice and continued service. To all of these who will be recognized today, I ask that you give a sense of pride in their accomplishment. Also, remind them that they did not accomplish this alone, that there were many who helped along the way. We ask your blessing upon the family and friends who have contributed so much to this success as well, and for the encouragement and assistance they have given to our military personnel. We are truly grateful for their many sacrifices. Continue to guide each of us in our service to our nation, and may the honors bestowed upon our award winners today challenge each of us to serve with renewed commitment and dedication. It's in your holy name that we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We're going to take advantage today of this virtual format, and we're going to move around a little bit, or at least I am, during this format. Instead of just me standing by a podium, we're going to take advantage of moving around and seeing some things on the base, and potentially you haven't been out here in a while, and it'd be nice. So I thought there'd be no better spot to start a virtual year in review than here in our maintenance hangar in front of our majestic American flag that always flies down here. So our year in review. We've got an opportunity to walk around and see the base and see what kind of progress we've made over the last year. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to go to all of our group commanders, and they're going to have a chance to round up how their group has turned out this year and how they've weathered 2020. I can tell you that 2020 has been unlike any other year that I've had out here at the 139th. After 31 years, I never thought I'd see virtual drills. I never thought I'd see us doing the missions that we have done this year within the state. And I've never thought we would do a virtual awards ceremony, but we're going to do it. So join me now on our year in review. Our first strategic initiative that I'd like to go over is the modernization of our aircraft, the C-130H model aircraft. Okay, coming to you from the cockpit of one of our great C-130 Hercules aircraft. Haven't done this before at an award ceremony, but we're going to take advantage of our virtual format and show you the cockpit. This allows me to talk about our first strategic initiative at the 139th Airlift Wing, which is maintain a tactical airlift mission at the 139th Airlift Wing. That involves upgrading our current aircraft. As you look at the cockpit, in the coming years, we should see a full glass cockpit with our avionics modernization programs. Teams of people on our wing are in the leadership position in that cockpit working group, and we have for a long time been in a leadership position to maintain not only the increment 1 but the final increment 2 of our avionics modernization program. We've also been able to upgrade the engines on our aircraft, a very valuable upgrade to Rolls-Royce 3.5 engines, and we look forward to the new 8-bladed prop and our new electronic valve housings in the very near future. All of this rolls into our strategic initiative of maintaining tactical airlift at the 139th through upgrading the H model into the Iron Herc, as I like to call it, which will be the most capable tactical airlifter in the Air Force inventory. Our next strategic initiative is the Aeromed Evacuation Squadron. Many of you know that we've been gunning for quite a while for this new squadron to be based here at the 139th Airlift Wing. After the announcement from Air National Guard that an Aeromed Evacuation Squadron was up for grabs, we put our name in the hat and have been working hard as a team to get that squadron based here. It's related to our operations group, so I thought it fitting to stand here in front of our almost complete Building 17 brand new operations group building, because our plan is to put the Aeromed Evacuation Squadron in the comm building just next door. So can you imagine with me a comm building renovated into an Aeromed Evacuation Squadron next to a brand new building, renovated building for our operations group? Keep your fingers crossed and hope everything works out for us and we win the competition. So hopefully we'll hear from this strategic initiative soon. So why am I standing in an open office, uninhabited office? I want to talk real quick about our progress made on Building 51. This year we've authorized money and we've got a plan, and we're going to renovate the first floor of Building 51. Our plan is to make a customer service friendly section of the Building 51, our headquarters building, for all of our airmen to come get finance questions answered and FSS questions answered, and also provide an operational end of Building 51 to complement our new command post to have an EOC and some of our crisis action team functions all centered. And we might even get PA back into this building too. So plans for Building 51 underway in 2020. The Chief and I are here to talk to you a little bit about our third and fourth initiatives, our strategic initiatives. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity for the Chief and I just to have a little conversation about these initiatives and what it means for us and our future here at the 139th and our airmen. Not only our current airmen, but our future airmen. And we thought it'd be kind of cool to do that in front of our wing headquarters building, which on our third and fourth initiative is new simulator and renovating our facilities and investing in our facilities. So we're getting ready to renovate our Building 51. I think finance is moving today to allow our workmen to get in there and start executing the contract to make this a first-class facility. But let me talk real quick about the full motion simulator. If you didn't see it in the news, we got the ability to break ground this fall, not a month ago, and turn some dirt over with all of our civic leaders and all of our partners, and we're beginning our full motion simulator building project to be done probably over the next year. And we've also got a firm commitment from Air Mobility Command to put a piece of equipment in there, the actual full motion simulator, and upgrade that equipment to a modern standard. And not only that, the new avionics modernization program that should put new avionics in our C-130s also has money in it, and we've been earmarked to upgrade that simulator to that cockpit whenever that cockpit is complete. So what a great path we're on, and just couldn't be happier as a leadership team to get that dirt turned over and start getting those firm commitments to make that simulator a reality for our air crew and all of our visiting crews and all the people that come train with us throughout the year. So really, really excited to report that to the wing. Chief?
Well, let me just say thank you, sir, and mainly for your leadership and the way you try to make things better for our members. We've worked very hard to establish a fantastic relationship with our community partners. You mentioned the civic leaders that we have, and they're so excited to be able to try to offer and help any help they can to get these resources and get the money necessary to make these improvements. And it's because of their respect that they have for the hard work and the efforts that our members do. So it's really kind of eye-opening for me, and I appreciate how hard you work to try to make this place a first-class and professional facility, so that we can kind of say thanks to the hard work that all the members have. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Chief. And I guess we should run down a little bit of some of the gains that we've made this year and some of the progress we've made on upgrading our facilities. One of the big things that comes to mind for me is we got 86 more acres of land.
Yep.
So over the last 30 days, the Adjutant General and the Mayor of St. Joseph wrote a lease and signed the lease, and we have over 200 acres now leased from the city and our own property here, federally owned property. So we've got the property to actually make the reality of a north base for the 139th. Man, that's just a game changer for future airmen here at the 139th.
Oh yeah, when you think about new missions and the ability to be able to take advantage of some of those things that come online as we go through the different decades, that'll be so much more of a benefit to have that new and modern facility that meets all the anti-terrorism measures, and it's just going to be another great place for everybody to come out and feel proud to be part of the 139th.
Yeah, man. And we're not waiting. I mean, if you look up there now, Chief, you see our comm building starting to take place.
Yep.
It's actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I think Jenkins put in a few more feet in that. But it's a big facility to put all of our communication squadron in, and really going to be a first-class facility.
Yep.
We're working to get an apron project started up on our new land, so that should be our next MilCon. Military construction project to put an apron up there so we can start parking C-130s on that new land. And that just sets up the whole base concept. As the simulator building gets built up there, probably the next visible project we'll all see is a fence put around that whole thing, and it'll actually feel like a north base.
Yep.
I mean, we've been coming this direction for so long. It's just going to be cool to see that come together as one base, and I think that's just going to be really neat.
Yeah, when people arrive to the 139th, it's going to be like going to an active duty base. It'll be a nice grand opening or entrance with the meeting all the serpentine requirements and things like that. It should be a showpiece, and we'll be very proud to be part of this organization and take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would be remiss if I didn't comment just a little bit about our civic partners and the progress they've been making on updating our levee. If you didn't know it, we have a Corps of Engineers project that's going on around us. It's not really the bases project, but the Corps of Engineers is going to raise, in some cases, and extend the levee that surrounds the 139th Airlift Wing and Rosecrans, in some places up to 4 feet higher, which means a very broad levee to get 4 feet up. It's like a pyramid project.
Right.
But just thousands and thousands of square feet of dirt going to be put into this project, and it's on its way. If you have a chance to drive around our wing and see that, for me, that's a project that's been coming since 1993, and to see that dirt turned over and that dirt started to be moved, it just gives me a sigh of relief, and I can exhale a little bit every time flood season comes around, that we're getting closer and closer to having a really top-notch federal levee around our facility here.
For sure, and once again, we have our community to thank for increasing taxes, honestly, to be able to fund that and contribute to the funds for that. And again, they don't do that just because they want to. They do that because of an appreciation they have for the members that we have here and the respect that they have for our folks. So you guys earned all of this stuff, to be quite honest.
Well, that's our wrap up for our strategic initiatives. The Chief and I are so proud of everything that you've done, and our strategic initiatives are all making progress, and hopefully that progress is to build a wing and a mission set and the equipment and the facilities that you can be proud of coming to work every day and being a part of. And hopefully over 21, we'll get out of this 2020, and in 21 we'll get to be a part of it together and get back on base, and you'll have a nice shiny base to come back to. So
Yep, should be great.
thank you.
Thank you. I'm standing here today in front of the Resiliency Center because I recognize how important that team has played in maintaining the level of production that we've continued to be able to do. A lot of times in the military we talk about being mission ready, but we recognize that you, our most important resource, are the people that really make our mission happen. And the resiliency team has taken on what I consider to be a higher level of responsibility in helping ensure that we have a responsive and ready force. And I wanted to make sure that I stood here to thank them for all that they've done, to provide the sessions they have, to provide the one-on-one contact, and work together as a professional team to make sure that they are supporting our most valuable resource, as I indicated before. I would also like to just take this time to thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your involvement. Thank you for your sacrifice that you've made to your organizations and the commitment you've made to our country. Serving in the military is not easy. There's many sacrifices and many challenges that we face on a day-to-day basis. And you have all taken on those challenges. You continue to be a vital member of our organization. And you continue to serve this nation as only maybe 1% of the population really has. So thank you to our civilian employees. Thank you to our military members, again, for all that you do to sacrifice and support your nation. And most importantly, last but not least, thank you to the families for the sacrifices they have made trying to hold down the fort when our military people are serving and completing their duty. Thanks to everyone again for making this challenging year a successful year. Recognize that you are a critical and vital, important piece to our organization. I look forward to the day when we get back to more of a normal operation and once again feel like we can be together as one team, serving as we are so proud to be able to do. Have a great holiday season, and thank you, Team 139.
Hello from the Advanced Airlift Tactics Training Center. I'm Colonel Deanna Franks, the Commandant. We are total force here at AATTC with our Guard, Reserve, and Active Duty Airmen that make the Tactical Center of Excellence happen. The AATTC began our year in 2020 with a drive to institute new practices in our training syllabi and to execute our broader international partnerships with the European Air Transport Command and the European Defense Agency by being the first U.S. crew to train with their schoolhouse. As with many organizations in 2020, we learned quickly where to divert course as necessary while staying operationally resilient throughout the year. In January of 2020, the AATTC hosted a very robust air mobility tactics analysis team intelligence engagement that reviewed military posture and problems set in the classified realm and saw over 45 tactics and intelligence professionals come together to discuss these matters. This intense level of elite study for world strategies is the foundation upon which many of our AATTC courses and conference representations are built from. In February, AATTC staff held our annual winter training. We saw growth in refining our course syllabi while also completing the Community College of the Air Force accreditation update for all our instructors. February also brought about leadership change for the AATTC. Colonel Byron Newell handed over the reins to myself, and along with Colonel Adam Thomas, filled the Vice Commandant position until October of 2020 when he took a new assignment to the Pentagon as the A3ANG liaison. Following this transition of leadership, we embarked on the challenges that faced all military units with the impact of COVID-19 global pandemic. The AATTC had to shut our doors and not hold active courses between April and the middle of July. During this time period, our staff, in collaboration with the 139th Airlift Wing leadership, took the initiative to create the Wing Operations Center, otherwise known as the WOC. In true tactician form, these AATTC members were dedicated 24/7 to creating a pandemic contingency operation directive. The creation of the WOC enabled the Wing to be one of the first in the nation to operate in a split wing concept and provide the foundation to safely minimize exposure to COVID-19 while still being able to answer our nation's call. The AATTC quickly countered to a virtual training environment over the summer. Although courses were canceled initially, we stood up our own AETTC COVID reaction team alongside the 139th medical nurses, which allowed us to resume our courses at the end of July. For social distancing reasons, we calculated a proper decrease in attendance numbers for students and crews in the courses and limited the exposure by our staff and instructors. Another highlight of 2020 was with the C-130H Weapons School Division, otherwise known as the WIC. The WIC has operated here successfully since 2015. However, in 2020, the National Guard Bureau, Air Force Reserve Command, Air Mobility Command, and the Air Combat Command codified our operations and command structures for the first time. Designated as the United States Air Force Weapons School C-138 Division, our team remains a composition of AETTC Guard and Reserve personnel. The AETTC in St. Joseph, Missouri is the home of tactical excellence for mobility aircraft and focuses on increasing the warfighting effectiveness and survivability of mobility forces of the United States, as well as our international allies. We want to ensure the full health safety can be maintained for our students and our cadre, our staff, and all base personnel. Over our now 38-year history, we have continued to develop and fine-tune instruction as the landscape and requirements change in this tactical environment, even now with COVID-19. We are really looking forward to taking on 2021 and hope that we can get even more of our international partners involved in our courses, but more importantly, we just want to keep operationally relevant and keep all our airmen prepared for that tactical environment.
Season's greetings from the 139th Operations Group. As many of you know, my name is Colonel Greg Hay, and I have the honor and privilege of commanding the 139th Operations Group, consisting of the 139th Operational Support Squadron, the 180th Airlift Squadron, and the 241st Air Traffic Control Squadron. 2020 has been one of the most challenging years of our careers. The Operations Group has shown through their resiliency, professionalism, and hard work that they can and did overcome these challenges. Pandemic operations have become our new normal, and we managed to accomplish a safe and successful AEF rotation in support of Operation Inherent Resolve and Operation Resolute Support. And we continue to have some of our men and women deployed in support of Operation Freedom Sentinel. Throughout this pandemic ops, this group has maintained a high state of readiness through exercise participation, joint airborne air transportability training, and local training. We have had our members participate in domestic operations in support of civil unrest, food bank support, COVID testing sites, maintenance and generator support, face mask production, state joint staff coordination for pandemic response, and many other lines of effort in Missouri and our local communities. I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this group and the 139th Airlift Wing. I look forward to meeting the challenges of 2021 and beyond. On behalf of the 139th Operations Group, I would like to wish you and your families a very safe and happy holiday season. And as always, please keep those in harm's way in your thoughts and prayers.
Colonel Mark Reeder here with the 139th Mission Support Group. It's no surprise that this year has been challenging to say the least, and the Mission Support Group has stood up to these challenges in supporting the local community, state missions, and deploying members globally in support of our nation. Shortly after the first year, our Security Forces Squadron, led by Major Jeremy Funk, took charge, putting in place critical risk mitigation measures to posture the wing against COVID. Combat Arms Shop conducted 76 weapons classes, training over 430 personnel, of which 183 were deployers that qualified in under 5 weeks during COVID operations. Led by Lieutenant Colonel Mike Donaldson, the 4th Support Squadron competed against units across the Air National Guard for the Kenneth W. Disney Award. This award recognizes excellence in guest services and meal quality, and the 139th FSS team was #1 in the Air National Guard. A track pavilion of over $100,000 was completed, and much needed exercise equipment was funded for the fitness center. The customer service team of FSS converted the in-person out-processing and in-processing functions into a completely virtual product. This was critical in our wing's ability to safely support state emergency missions, deployments, separations, and schools in a new and challenging pandemic environment.
In charge of the wing's largest and most relied upon weapons system is the 139th Communications Flight, led by Lieutenant Colonel Pat Shelton. Since February, our communications experts have continued to provide phenomenal command and control support during pandemic operations, to include developing teleworking guidance, enhanced VPN connectivity options, Department of Defense Platform One chat, and commercial virtual remote Teams teleconferencing capabilities, ensuring mission accomplishment while maintaining COVID protections. For the 139th Civil Engineering Squadron, this year we witnessed a change in leadership from Lieutenant Colonel Tracy Beatty to Lieutenant Colonel Eric Rawlings. It was a pleasure working with Lieutenant Colonel Beatty over a multitude of years and through various positions. The 139th Civil Engineering Squadron's expertise and dedication this year has been incredible in supporting the surrounding community during this pandemic. Master Sergeant Abby Pierce of the Emergency Management Shop spearheaded the synchronizing efforts between the wing, state, and local community partners in support of community testing, the food bank, the school lunch program, and many other programs abroad. Along with community support, CE has continued all planned construction and modernization efforts throughout the wing, with the remodel of the operations building, air terminal operations, new construction of the communications facility, the flight simulator facility groundbreaking, and throw in a micro tornado damage recovery of over $200,000. And lastly, the fire department received the much anticipated Oshkosh P-23 crash fire truck, which will provide enhanced state-of-the-art firefighting capabilities that will continue our outstanding support of the civilian airport, the surrounding community, and the mission of the 139th Airlift Wing. While CE has had changes this year in its leadership, the dedication and professionalism continues to thwart them ahead. The Logistics Readiness Squadron, headed by Lieutenant Colonel Mark Cheney, continued a multitude of logistics movements in support of the AEF, COVID, and every capacity associated with the local flying operations. The Traffic Management Office did over 5,200 inbound transactions rated at over 240,000 pounds, shipped over 1,700 outbound transactions at over 190,000 pounds. Vehicle maintenance kept over 160 vehicles valued at over $14 million mission ready, averaging over a 95% vehicle in commission rate. Logistics plans deployed and received 188 wing members and 30 short tons of cargo for the AEF. This was the very first time in wing history that both out-processing and in-processing for a contingency operation was conducted virtually. Air Terminal Operation finished its $450,000 renovation project to Building 19, which was the first construction renovation since the flood devastated the base in 1993. For logistics readiness, they continue to provide outstanding customer service to all functions throughout the 139th. Directly under the Mission Support Group is our phenomenal contracting shop. This year, they did over $446,000 worth of transactions for the 131st Bomb Wing, as well as over $3 million worth of transactions for the Missouri Army National Guard. In-house, over 1,280 government purchase card transactions valued at over $820,000, and a summation of over 34 transactions valued at over $8 million. Next year, we are looking forward to deploying over 100 Mission Support Group members in support of the upcoming reserve component period. There's no challenge we are not prepared to overcome as we continue to strive for excellence in support of the wing, state, and national efforts.
Congratulations, 139th Airlift Wing, and making it through an incredibly challenging year. I'm Colonel Doug Bailey, the Maintenance Group Commander. I'm here today to share with you the outstanding accomplishments of my organization throughout the past year. I'd like to thank the Maintenance Group team for their absolute professionalism and dedication to getting the mission done and making that happen this year for us. Some amazing things were accomplished. I'd like to thank the rest of the groups as well for all their support this year, because without them, we wouldn't have been able to have the accomplishments that we had. During Operation Show Me COVID-19 response, the 139th Maintenance Group continued to execute the local flying hour program, generating 22 local training missions, 2 weapons instructor course cross-country deployments, 15 JATs, and 7 MRA missions. The accomplishments by the Maintenance Group were completed using split shift operations to minimize COVID-19 exposure. With only 30% manning per shift, the team was able to pull together and become very innovative on how to meet the mission requirements while maintaining safety. The MOF acted as the unit control center during pandemic ops, ensuring proper reporting for over 100 maintenance group members, base access, contact tracing, and health status to the Wing Operations Center daily. MOF personnel also established the first virtual RSDO plan. The first RSD of execution of this plan satisfied a grand total of over 1,000 training requirements, ensuring our deployers were ready to walk out the door. The 139th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron provided 5 aircraft for the AEF, delivering them on time to keep our mission seamless without delay, while continuing to support local flying requirements. Modernization of our fleet has remained the top priority. The avionics specialist led the maintenance squadron's efforts to continue the fleet's system upgrades with the ADS-B out modification on 5 aircraft. The propulsion section worked with transitional issues concerning Dash 15 Alpha engines, resulting in new technical data to be adapted by Rolls-Royce and Air Force program managers. Metals Technology increased capabilities in preparation for future flood evacuations by adding a 110-bolt tabletop lav. The munitions section maintained a stockpile in excess of $1.5 million, 20 tons of assets with a net explosive weight in excess of 3,300 pounds. They supported the AEF by providing 4 aircraft with full mobility standard configuration loads. Aerospace Ground Equipment, AGE, received 2 new air conditioning units and 1 hydraulic jacking manifold. Our isochronal inspection team was challenged with relocating operations into the fuel cell hangar, accommodating the multi-million-dollar Nulon hangar refurbishment and upgrades that wrapped up this year. Our AEF deployers excelled in theater operations as usual. There were multiple individual awards as well as our team awards given out for their outstanding accomplishments. These include Andrew Mosley and Fred Pierce being awarded Pro Supers of the Quarter. Team accomplishments were Group Team Quarter, Squadron Team of the Quarter, and AMU of the Quarter. I'd just like to reemphasize and welcome home the AEF deployers and congratulations to all on a job greatly done. The 139th Maintenance Group wrapped up the year performing over 29,000 direct man hours and generated 870 sorties, executing 2,149 flying hours, while also supporting off-station operations around the world. So I'm proud to stand alongside each and every one of you, and thank you for your service. Congratulations to all award winners this year.
COVID-19 brought about a lot of changes for the world and also brought about a lot of changes for the 139th Medical Group. During this time, we had members deployed to the other side of the world with our maintainers and our flyers, and also had members deployed to the other side of the state, taking care of the citizens of Missouri. During this time, we also kept our doors open to meet your medical needs and also kept the detachment fully trained up for their domestic operations mission. In March, the 139th Medical Group deployed to Weldon Springs, Missouri in support of a collective training exercise for the Missouri Homeland Response Force. During this training, they performed several training scenarios and also updated their standard operating procedures. In April 2020 came the largest deployment for the medical group since Desert Storm, as members deployed to Florissant, Missouri, took over an old Quality Inn and turned it into a 100-bed hospital. This was in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the 139th Medical Group was activated to form Task Force Pony Med for Operation Show Me COVID-19 response. The medical group members traveled across the state to work with the Missouri Disaster Medical Assistance Team in setting up and operating the first alternate care site, ACS, in Missouri. The operation for Pony Med lasted roughly 30 days and then was handed off to the 131st Medical Group. In June, members of the 139th Medical Group served as medical liaisons for the Swabbing Express as part of Joint Task Force Pony Express. Over 15,000 tests were accomplished by this team in 44 sites in 26 Missouri counties. In August, the first TCCC course was accomplished here at the 139th, and it stands for Tactical Combat Casualty Care. The training provides for a baseline of skills to provide for life-saving care to casualties in 3 phases that can be experienced on the battlefield, which are care under fire, tactical field care, and tactical evacuation care. As part of this training, we now have 9 instructors that will be able to teach TCCC to wing members in the future. In September, I retired after 32 years of service, and I was able to have a ceremony presided over by Colonel Ed Black. Thank you, Colonel. And finally, I want to wish everyone happy holidays and remind you to be safe, practice social distancing, wear a mask, and check your IMR. Thank you.
The Logan Award winner is an award particular to the 139th Airlift Wing, and it allows the wing commander and our command chief to recognize one airman for the distinguished accomplishments over the last year and a little bit of their career as well. I thought because we're doing a virtual RSD that we'd have a good chance of getting an airplane in the background, which is pretty fun, and we'd have a chance to stand in front of the Logan Monument. If you didn't know it, our wing has a monument to our founder, Colonel John Logan, right in front of the flagpole in front of the headquarters building. So I thought this was a great chance to give the Logan Award away in front of the Logan Monument. Founded in 1987, this award allows us to recognize one of our airmen. And I should say something about just the people that are nominated for this award. We had quite a few packages put in by your peers, by their peers, to be evaluated for the Logan Award. And there wasn't a bad one in the bunch, right, Chief?
Pretty amazing.
A pretty amazing group of people that have done some amazing work this year for the 139th. So just very, very proud of all of you that were nominated. But this year's award went to Captain Owen Compton. And we came to that conclusion based upon both his federal service and his local service. So over the last year, Owen Compton, Owen deployed for us. He went to support AFRICOM as the JSOAC A J4 joint position that supported all of the African continent. So he did logistics and moving of people and materials and buildings and all kinds of stuff over the whole Africa continent for AFRICOM. So pretty amazing feat, and I'm sure he's got some great stories he could share with you about some of his experiences working in that environment. As well as we thought it was a great time to recognize his accomplishments here at the 139th. Many of you, particularly in the TAC school and the aeroport, TAC school maintenance program, if you ran on the running track here, if you've been in any of our newer facilities, Owen Compton has his fingers in all of that, and has really been a spearhead for funding and contracting and helping to make our place a better place, make our wing a better place to work and live, as well as doing some pretty darn good air shows. Owen backed us over the last year, and we had a great air show with the Blue Angels here, set records of attendance, and we didn't lose anybody, but it was a heck of an air show that tasked all of us, but it was a great event. And we've got another air show coming this spring thanks to Owen with the Thunderbirds, hopefully going to be here this spring for our 139th Sound of Speed air show. So all in all, just wanted to recognize Owen and all his accomplishments. He would be the first to say he didn't do any of that alone. He had a lot of help and a lot of partners to do that, but we wanted to make a special moment here for Owen and say thank you. So on behalf of the 139th Airlift Wing, I'd like to present you this Colonel John Byrne Logan Award for 2020. Thanks, sir. We'll get a Logan here. Logan, I got it. There, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Well, that completes our 2020 award ceremony, virtual. So hopefully that you enjoyed listening to our year in review from all of our commanders. Got to see some of your friends and some of your fellow service members win awards this year for service, absolutely well deserved. So I want to take this opportunity now on behalf of all the men and women of the 139th Airlift Wing to say thank you to all the people that won awards today, all the people that were recognized today for their service, for the completion of degrees. It's just an amazing time for all of us to reflect upon the successes of the individuals of the 139th. I also want to say thank you to all of the service members here at the 139th and all of your families for sticking with us in 2020. This has been one heck of a year of changes, a year of really undefined futures. But through it all of you have taken care and been leaders within your own communities to protect you and your families from this virus. All the while completing our state mission in fine form and completing our national mission by deploying and redeploying. It's been a heck of a year, and you've done an excellent job and excelled in all the areas that you've worked on. I also want to take just a brief moment to personally say, as you know, this is probably my last award ceremony as your wing commander. I've taken a position back in Washington and look forward to that position, but it is absolutely bittersweet. The years that I've spent here, almost 32 years with the 139th Airlift Wing, have been amazing. They've made all the difference in my life, and on behalf of myself, my wife Holly, and our kids, we just want to thank you for all the memories and all the great friendships and all the things that we've done here at the 139th. We wish you the best in the holidays and wish you all to be safe through the holiday season, and enjoy yourself. You deserve it. Thank you. 139th Airlift Wing Commander Colonel Black, out.